Hello and welcome to the Wyoming Knit YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee and today is Sunday, December 31st, and this is episode 23. If you are new, thanks for tuning in, and if you are returning, thanks for coming back. So today I would like to talk about my knitting. I'd like to share with you all of the things that I have accomplished this year and what I'm taking into next year with me. So let's start with finished objects for the last week. I have 2 finished pairs of socks and 1 finished hat. So we'll start with my Christmas socks. I finished these. These are the Morning Coffee Socks by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. And the color is Festive AF by Pretty Twisted Yarns. So this was my last pair of Christmas socks I finished this year. The next pair is also some Christmas socks. They are my Advent socks. This is the Wollens and Nosh Advent socks. I did, for both of these, I cast on 56 stitches and did a 2x2 knit purl 2 cuff for 20 rounds and then went into the pattern. And these socks had the gray stripe in between every day. And so I did 12 stripes, and this was the 24th stripe, but I needed 3 more to finish out the sock. So I'll put the name of this pattern and the designer on the screen. I forgot what this pattern was. It came with the Wollens and Nosh socks this year, so you got a download code with the package when you got it. So I finished 2 pairs of socks in the last, I think, week. And then I did finish my Musselburgh hat that I was making. I finished it this morning, so it is still blocking. So I finished that. It's still pretty damp. So those are the 3 things I've finished while I've been home on Christmas break. So now we'll talk about everything that I've finished for the whole year and what I'm taking into 2024 with me. So at the end of the year, I counted all of my finished objects. I keep them in, I just have this happy planner notebook with it's a little pouch that I have my pencils and highlighters in, and then I have on all of the pages, some of the pages I've written like everything that I've done for that month. I try to keep it in here, and also on Google Keep I have, so then I have it in 2 places so I don't forget to write something down. So I finished 54 pairs of socks this year, 11 sweaters or cardigans, 6 hats, 5 blankets, 2 pairs of pants, and 2 shawls. So I can't believe I finished 5 blankets this year. If you would like me to talk about how I was able to finish those 5 blankets, or what my process is when I work on my blankets, I would be glad to make a video about that. Just leave a comment in the description below, or in the comment box. And so let's talk about everything I'm taking into next year with me. So I have my December's whips pulled up here, and at the bottom I can see everything that I finished for December. So the first thing I have on here is my Christmas socks. And I think I have those in this cute little bag that I got from Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. This is a yarn from You Knit, I Dye, and I think this was just called Christmas Sock Set. It came with a mini and a full skein, and I'm doing the String of Lights pattern by Lindsay of Sock Witchery, and I have put in the heel and finished my gusset decreases. So all that's left is a foot and the second sock. So I did not finish these before Christmas, so they've just became a, well, when I get time I'll work on them project. So that is the first thing I'm taking into 2024 with me. The next one is my Scattering Petals cowl that I'm doing with a Advent from 2021. I got the Labyrinth Advent from, I'll put it on the screen. So I have my Scattering Petals cowl. So here was day one. And I have this project on my Ravelry project page with all of the names of the colors. And I think this is day 21? 22. Day 22. And you do each color twice. So there's 30 colors. It was a countdown to New Year's, and my Musselburgh was the full skein at the very end. So this is going to be nice and warm to wrap around when it starts getting a lot colder here in Wyoming. It gets really cold in like January and February. Those are usually our coldest months. And so I want to have this finished pretty soon so I can wear it out when I do bus duty this quarter. I think I forgot to tell you where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. The next thing it says here is the painting Honeycombs. I have worked on it quite a bit. It needs to be done by February. So right here was the last time I showed it, and I've put on a few more honeycomb rows. So it is getting there. I think I have 20 more honeycomb rows to do. I would like to have this finished by the end of January, just so I have time to make sure it's all completed. And then I have my daughter's blanket that I'm making. I put together an Advent countdown for us. She decided she wanted to open it this year, and I've worked on it a little bit. Let's see. I was in that blue section last time I showed it. This is the Cozy Comfort Throw by Molly of a Homespun House. And I'm using a bunch of Yarn Cafe Creation minis that I got. She had a mystery mini sale last spring, and so I bought a few packages. I think they came in groups of 10, so I bought 3 packages, and I had some leftover like little bags that had numbers on them, and I put all of those in the bags. I laid all the bags down, mixed them up, laid them all number side down, put them in the bag, and then put them in a box and put them away. And so as we've been opening them, it's a surprise again because I have forgotten which colors they were. So I just have that in a little tote that I set by my chair, and when I'm ready for the next one, I just pick it up and put it in and then go wind the next skein. Let's see. The next thing on my list is my Stria cardigan. I have not frogged it yet. I talked about this last time. I missed an increase at the beginning, and so I need to go all the way back to this light green stripe, and that's where I missed my increase right here, so I need to go back. I have not frogged it yet, but I did start a new cardigan. So this is just going to be waiting for me to be ready to frog it and start over. My Harvest cardigan is the next thing on my list. That's living in a bag by Awesome Granny. I don't know if I've worked on it. I have not worked on it since the last time I showed it. So we'll move my stitch marker or my progress keeper, and I've separated the sleeves. So still right here. I'm using Wool of the Andes, and this is Haze Heather. And so this will get some more work hopefully soon. The next thing I have is my newest cast on. This is in a bag that one of my coworkers made me. We did a swap, and I think I was watching Laura Penrose, her Vlogmas, and I think her mom made her a bag like this. So I took the yarn from my All of the Lights cardigan, and I cast on the Ruska cardigan. So I am ready to divide for sleeves. Ooh, this is pretty. This is in the Minty Kiss Cocoa color from Yarn Cafe Creations. So I do have the ramen noodle kind of yarn from when I frogged my All of the Lights cardigan. So I think this is going to be a better fit for this yarn. So I've been working on that. Let's see. Oh, I have some socks that I have not worked on that I cast on this spring. I think I cast them on over our spring break last year, and I've gotten this far. This has a I think the pattern is TGI something. Do I have it right here? TGIS. I don't think I have. I'll put in a picture of what they're supposed to look like, but this is as far as I've got. I think I was supposed to cast on I did 64 stitches, I think, because it only came in 2 sizes. And I'm using some yarn that I got from Zen Yarn Garden. This was off of Zulily. I am not quite sure how to pronounce that. Kyanite? And so this has like a cable pattern throughout the whole sock, and I put it in on my shelf because I was working on all of the socks for Christmas presents this year, so that got put on the back burner. The next thing I have is another pair of socks that I just cast on. This is living in my woolly tangle bag. I got this bag because I thought it was a nice wintry bag that I could use all the way into January. I picked a ball of Felici, that 2 balls of Felici that I had hanging out. This is from the fall 2022 release, and this is the Poseidon color. And I have started a pair of socks for me. I'm going to do the Vanilla is the New black socks. So on this one, the smallest size is a 60 stitch cast on, and so I did a 1x1 rib on this one. When I cast it on, I think I split a stitch. When I cast it on, I was like, well, you have to have 64 or 56, and so 2x2 is not going to work. And then I got about halfway through the ribbing, and I was like, 2x2 is going to work. You just, when you get to from the front, when you get to the back, you just start with 2 purl stitches instead of 2 knit stitches. So I might rip these back. I split a stitch, and so it's not going to be very strong right there, so I might rip it back and do 2x2. But I didn't have any fun new socks that were not Christmas on the needles, and so I wanted a pair for myself that I could work on. I think for the first couple of months of this year, I am just going to work on socks for me. I might set a goal where I need to use one Yarnable and one Felici every month. I'm not going to do the Desert Vista Dye Works challenge this year. That was a fun challenge for me where I got to make one pair of socks for me every month. I was able to get those done. It wasn't really a challenge for me. I cast them on at the beginning, sometimes I cast them on the 6th, and I was able to completely finish them, no rush, no hurry, way before the deadline. So I know I can knit a pair of socks a month for myself, so I think I'm going to do that with my Yarnable and my Felici. I can't decide if I'm going to do 2 pair or just one. So then I have a pair of socks that I got this yarn from Zen Yarn Garden, and I made my mom a pair of socks, and she had like a purpley color. Purple, it was called Grape Crush, and I used this color for the cuffs, heels, and toes, and so I'm going to make me a pair of matching, but with the green. So I'll link where you can find this. This is Zen Yarn Garden yarn, but I got it off of Zulily. So this is in my Mountain State Stitches bag. So then I have the Sweet Shop blanket I'm working on. I'm using some bare hair. Some bare yarn from Knit Picks. This is the Swish DK. So I just ordered some of their bare yarn, and then I'm using my Succulents Advent set from Canon Hand Dyed. This was 2022 Advent. I got the DK Advent, and this is what I've got so far. So I was working on this one last time, so I put this one in, and we'll go here. Well, we'll go here, and then we'll put in the 2, and then we'll go. So working on that. That's going to be a long-term Scrappy Sunday project. And the last thing I have is another blanket living in my Knit Stars bag. I have not worked on this since the last time I showed it. I'm using the Lion Brand Mandala. I've got a few different colors in here. I kind of wanted the retro vibe, kind of. So I'm doing the Feather and Fan, but over here I forgot to do some decreases, and so I had too many stitches in between my markers, and I had to, I don't know what I did, but I think I want to rip back and maybe even make it not so long. I don't know. This is just a fun work on it whenever I feel like it project. This is probably going to be a very long-term project, 2-3 more years before I get that one finished. And I think that is everything in my December WIP checklist. So that is everything that I will be working on in the new year. I did get two new skeins of yarn. I got 2 sock sets from Dragon Horde Yarn. I got I think this one is Rudolph. And this one is Never Christmas. And so these are just some nice skeins of yarn, and so I'll have those to work on in the new year. I think I'll save this one for next Christmas. And that is everything for this time. I'm gonna try to put out some how to knit tutorials. If you are not interested in those, just skip them. Some of my family and friends have asked that I put some different tutorials out there for them to see. So I will be working on that this year. And I'm going to try and see how this works, recording every week instead of every 2 weeks going forward. So I will see you in a week. Happy knitting!